All right, we are so excited today that you guys are joining us on Empower You Crown Up, where we know this is where we empower others to be great day in and day out, to prioritize their mental health and learn how to be great through empowerment. So, today we have a special guest with us, Miss Deshonda Jennings. We're going to go ahead and bring her. She is phenomenal. She's in the childcare space. And she is so just prevalent and just working with our youth and just helping others to start childcare based businesses and just start businesses. Like the woman is phenomenal. So without further ado, we're going to bring Miss Deshonda Jennings to the stage. Hi, Deshonda. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. We're so excited to have you on stage with us today. How are you? Tell us about yourself. I mean, I know that bio didn't do any justice for everything that you do.
All right. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's such an honor to be on your stage. A little bit about me. I'm gonna give y'all this short version. I'm a little girl from rural town, Lunenburg, Virginia. I always like to tell people I'm just a little country girl that loves to dance, loves to dance. I'm also a wife. I'm a mom of seven. I have five beautiful grandkids. Um, And before I even, do you want me to tell how I got into this space or just?
Yeah, well, first, I mean, you said that like, hey, I'm a look at you. You look so young. Like grandkids, where?
Thank you, girl. Thank you. You know what they say.
Yeah, they say our skin don't crack. That's what they say, right?
Absolutely, yes.
But you look great. But tell us, how did you get into this space and and everything that you do?
All right. When I first started off, I started off in like accounting and business was my first degree. And I always tell people like the fast forward version of that in 2006, I got blessed with what I call my miracle baby. So she changed the whole game for me. She made me change my whole career. Just dealing with life stuff, not really trusting people, going through so much. I don't know if we got any guests on here that has ever experienced all type of hurt, unforgiveness. So that's kind of what the space that I was in when God blessed me with her. And so because I didn't really trust nobody, I decided, listen, I already love kids anyway. I'm already a mom, but I knew that I still had to work to help take care of my family. But at the same time, I didn't want to leave my baby just for anybody. And so I went back to school and I got a degree in early childhood and I started a home based childcare business with the vision and the mindset that I'm going to treat every child that comes to me as if they were my own. So that's how I got
Mm.
started in childcare.
I love that. You said treat every child as if they were your own. And I think that that is just something that we should definitely expound on because if even in the classroom, because my background is in education, but it's in the classroom. And if everyone would take that same mission and vision to treat every child as their own, I think things would be so much better because being on the admin side, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, okay, you said this to this child, or you did this. I mean, I'm all for teaching kids and getting them ready for the real world, but would you want someone to talk to your child like that? And so, can you tell us a bit more about that? Like, is that something you ask people, or how can you tell, like, when you bring on your staff, if they're going to really carry out your vision and treat kids the way they would want someone to treat their own kid?
I would say for me, I'm fortunate that half of my staff is actually family. So we also creating legacy over here. Two of my
Yes.
staff is two of my daughters got the opportunity to work with me. Then the other two is like two close friends that I know. And just being transparent. And I always tell people, be transparent regardless. Like that, don't yes, you want to not be so rough, be so rude, but at the same time, you want people to see who you are at all times, whether they're in front of you or whether they're not in front of you. Just be transparent. Like with my staff, I tell them like same thing. If you see a child, for example, walking their shoes untied, don't just let them walk around with their shoes untied. I know that may be like something simple, but for me, if that's your baby, you want to make sure your baby's shoes is tied. Number one, that's safety. And that's our first thing is safety first, fun second. And another thing, like, for me, when I, get your kids, you don't want no dirty face. So that's like our One of the things that I pride, DJ Shining Stars, that's the name of my home daycare business. And I get so many compliments from parents that no matter when they pick their child up, their face is always clean. Like, we don't send no kids out the door with no dirty face, dirty nose. Mm-mm. So you think about it, if that's your baby, you're not going to be just walking around in public with your child with a dirty face, right? So you
That's
take that
right.
same sense that you would do with your own, but do it times 10.
Yes, I love that because I have 4 kids, and that's the battle that as moms we battle with, because you're like, man, I need to go to work, but I don't want to have to take my child to daycare. And then I know for some it's a bigger fear. Like for me growing up, my little sister, a whole shelf fell on her when she was at daycare. And she had to go to the hospital. She had to wear a cast on her leg. And it was a lot. And it's like, I mean, she couldn't use the bathroom. She couldn't do anything. We had to do everything for her. And it was just like, wow, you live with that fear, like, is that going to happen? And then we see videos on TV where people are putting melatonin in kids or throwing kids down, and it's just like, I definitely understand your fear, but what gave you the ability to really just step out on faith and say, you know what, I'm going to start my own? Like, did you interview other daycares and was like, or were you just like, I'm just going to do this, like, God gave me this vision, I'm going to do it?
First, I'm so sorry what happened to your sister with that shelf. I'm so sorry that happened. And thank God that she's okay. I would
Yes.
say for me, it's like I always had like took care of older cousins, little younger cousins when I was younger. Used to babysit, as we call it. So I already had that gift inside of me. And honestly, when I first stepped out, I'm like, Lord, I don't know. Like I don't even know how to charge people. And so I take all the mistakes that I learned as far as pricing and not just letting this be hard work, understanding that I do this one because I love what I do, but
Yeah.
my main goal is for my family. So just taking that into account that when once you start your business and just trust God, like that's all I can say is trust God. If I could just share one of my favorite scriptures.
Please do.
Okay, one of my favorite scriptures is Luke 12:48. And it says, too much is given, much is required. And what that look like for me is when God bless us with different gifts, talents, and abilities, it's not just for us to keep to ourselves. He want us to take those same gifts that He blessed us with and, grow the kingdom. Like the kingdom could be your community, it could be your neighborhood, it could be your subdivision. It's not just for us to take this stuff for ourselves. He wants us to grow the kingdom. And in childcare, that kingdom is my community. Like
Mm,
I'm able to take the gift, the love for kids, understanding from a mom's perspective, the safety piece of it. And I'm able to go out here and provide not just childcare services, quality childcare
yeah.
services, but parents can go to work, not have to worry about is my baby okay. And we communicate with them throughout the day. Like we
Oh,
got
I
an
love
app, we upload pictures so they can not just take our word
See,
for it. You know,
I
it,
love
yeah.
that because that's the thing. I've always felt like I was missing out unless I was at a daycare for my own children that I can look on the camera. But still, I'm wary because I'm trying to teach and then I'm trying to look on the camera. And it's always something. But I love that that takes a world of pressure off of a parent knowing that, okay, whatever my baby's doing throughout the day, you're gonna send me pictures. So still I can feel like I'm there and a part of that experience. So I love that. So basically you
And
take the
listen,
whole
honey,
perspective into
yeah,
view.
these preschoolers, those 2 and 3 year olds, honey, girl, they gonna go home and tell you about their day anyway. So parents, y'all do not have to worry about that. If they're 2 and 3 and they verbal, they gonna tell you about their day.
That's true, because my youngest, he's 4, and he'll be like, Mommy, I did this, I made a snow cone, and this, and that, and I did this, and I did that. I'm like, what? You did all of that? So, yes, you're right. And it's like, it lightens up your day. It's like a joy in working with them. So, tell us about that. Like, you get to work with your family. Like, how do you feel compared to when you were in corporate America? Like when you think about being able to work with your own family, your own kids, and then extend that to the community and work with other people's kids.
I say it's a blessing. I always use the term grateful because now I'm able to give like beyond my family. I have two staff that's not related. So I'm able to help bless them with
Mhm.
a job opportunity for their family. And it's a great feeling to be able to be there. And I know like with my girls, they're probably like I'm the hardest boss. I don't know. But like I tell them, this is our legacy and all of the staff. I'll say, I want you to run this as if it's yours. Like, don't
Yeah.
just say, but this is Miss D. I want you to take ownership. Because I know when I was in corporate, when I had tasks that I was able to take ownership of, I gave it like,
All right. So she will be right back. Let's see here. Oh, here she is right here.
your room.
Okay. Yes. It popped you out of the studio. Well, I'm glad you're right back.
Okay.
But you were saying you tell your babies to literally treat this as your own, not Miss D, but treat this as your own. We're leaving a legacy.
Yes.
Yes, I love that so much. So, what do you do with your business now? Like, what are you looking for? Like, are you looking to help others start their own, or like, what does that look like for someone who wants to work with you?
Yes, I run the preschool by day, and I also am a coach to where I teach other women, not just ones that want to start one, but let's say we have some ladies that's already running a business. They like, okay, now how do I make this a profitable business so I can make money from this, not just,
Mhm.
doing this all day, no joy, no nothing,
Right.
just doing it because they love kids. So we're changing that whole trajectory. One, we don't say the term like daycare because we're not just, taking care of kids during the day. We teaching these babies. So
Yeah,
we
right.
changed our name over here. Ours is preschool. So I teach other
Love
women
it.
how to start and run a quality childcare business. Because what quality look like, it's not just sitting there, kids just coloring. That stuff look good, but it's bigger than that. Like it is so bigger than that. So my goal is to help 100 women start,
Mm.
operate, and run a quality home childcare business.
I love that so much. And I'm glad you said that because that was my big concern. Like kids are smart and they want to learn. They don't want to sit around all day watching TV and coloring. Like they're very smart. They can learn their numbers, learn different languages. There's so much. And I didn't want a daycare. I want someone that's gonna teach my baby, but where I'm not having to break the bank either. So so I love that you do that. So helping 100 women, phenomenal. So how can people stay in contact with you if they say, you know what, this is something I want to do? Like I've been wanting that to do this, but I didn't know where to start. How can they contact you? And what do you have to offer?
Okay. So to contact me, just go to 10 mistakes to avoid.com. And I believe it's probably going to be up on the screen. It's the number 10 mistakes, the number two toavoid.com. That way, once you go to 10 mistakes to avoid.com, it'll connect you to all my social media. You'll be able to contact me if you want to get on a phone call. Be like, hey, I think this is something I may be interested in, or I know somebody. Just go to 10 mistakes to avoid.com, and that way you can connect with me.
I love it. I love it, Deshonda. Well, I can definitely see your passion with what you do. And I think that that's amazing that you have a passion and you want to extend it to help others. Because as moms, you deal with that guilt all the time. I know fathers do in a sense, but I can't speak from that. I can speak from being a mom. And it's like you have that mommy guilt because you go to work, the crack of dawn, you get off and you're doing this, you're with the kids, but you're multitasking, you walk right into your next job. And I know there's so many women who say, I wish that I could just start my own or spend my time with my own kids and work from home. And so I think this is phenomenal what you're doing. So keep impacting the world.
Thank
Can't
you.
wait to see you hit that goal of helping 100 women start their own. Now, is this worldwide or does it have to be in a certain state for people who are asking or wondering?
No, this is worldwide because there's so many child care deserts throughout the United States. Is when I say like deserts, it's so many kids in every single state just on wait lists, waiting to get into child care. So it's deserts. You're needed. If that's a gift you think you may even have, you're definitely needed. This is not just in one state, this is throughout the United States. The child care deserts is all over the United States.
Oh man, I love it. Well, thank you so much. And can you tell us one more time your website so people can tune in and stay connected with you?
Yes, go to 10mistakes to avoid.com. 10mistakes to avoid.com. Thank you
All
so much.
right. Thank you so much, Miss D, Mr. Shonda, for joining us today. And you have an amazing day.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you guys just listened to Mr. Shonda Jennings. She did amazing telling us about what she does. Make sure you go to her website, 10 mistakes, the number 2, avoid.com. Check her out if you ever wanted to start your own childcare facility, spend more time with your kids, because we know how that gets when you are experiencing that mommy guilt. And make sure you guys share this episode. Share, because it might not be for you, but it could be for someone else. You never know who has been wanting to or battling with wanting to start their own childcare center. So make sure you go to 10 mistakes, the number 2, avoid.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have an amazing day.